Welcome to the Bucket List Mermaid. Today we are going to be doing a short and sweet bucket list review for hiking the Great Wall of China. But before we get started, if you do like this content, it would mean the world to me if you could just hit that like and subscribe button, and also check out my website for more guides and more bucket list inspiration. Let's get started. Now I'm going to categorize this bucket list idea into adventure and outdoor. This is for people who maybe want to get out of the city, want to get outside, maybe want to do hiking in a different and more cultural way when they visit China. If you're looking for the best time to go, I would definitely shoot for spring. This way the weather is manageable and you might get a chance to see some flowers. This video was actually filmed during spring, and although I didn't see any flowers, the weather was really nice for hiking the Great Wall of China. Traveling difficulty, I'm going to say moderate. That's because you may need to find some sort of transportation to get you there. I personally went on a tour from Viator. That took me directly there, but if you were doing it on your own, I could see it being a little bit of a hassle getting here from Beijing or wherever you're coming from. As far as physical difficulty goes, I would rate this moderate. It is definitely still a hike. You are definitely going to be walking. When I went, I was walking for the majority of the day. There was lots of stairs, and sometimes the stairs were in kind of a sketchier condition, so sometimes I had to go on my hands and knees. It was a little windy, and there was also some steep inclines. This is also going to highly depend on which section of the wall that you're doing. What I learned is that some sections of the wall are very well maintained, they're regulated, and then other ones are still kind of falling apart. So I ended up doing both. I ended up doing the regulated, and then I ended up doing kind of the more adventurous hike, and that one was a little bit more difficult. I had to use my hands and knees, I had to crawl sometimes, but overall, it's still amazing, and I think it's definitely doable for anyone with an average physical activity level. And the popularity rating, which is just how touristy it is, I am going to rate this probably an 8 just because it is a very iconic landmark. However, this is going to be highly dependent on which section of the wall that you are in. For example, when we first got to the wall, it was very crowded. There was a lot of people at the gate. However, when we started climbing and hiking, it really did thin out as people kind of started going in all different directions. So it really still wasn't bad even when we were at the most popular section of the wall. When we got to the more unregulated, nature-claimed section, there was nobody. We literally did not see a single soul. So you definitely can hike the Great Wall of China and avoid the tourists if that's what you're going for. Or you can just go to the main one and have a great time. Either one. Is a group or tour required? Technically, no. I think you can kind of just show up, and you could probably do this if you are going to the more popular sections of the wall. I probably wouldn't recommend doing that if you want to go on the more adventurous sides of the wall, you know, like where there's no rails or anything. I ended up doing a tour, and it was incredible, especially for the parts of the wall that were a little bit more claimed by nature, as you can see here. For budget, I think you could stick to pretty low if you were doing it by yourself. If you are going with a tour guide, it does get up into the medium range, especially if you are going with a private guide like we did, but it was pretty much worth it in the end with what we got. And lastly, is it wheelchair accessible? According to their website, in the most popular areas, yes, they have put in a lot of money to do elevators and ramps. Once you're on the wall, I would be a little bit more wary just because there are a lot of stairs and there's a lot of inclines and a lot of bumps, and it still is a pretty old monument, so it's not exactly paved all nice and pretty. So I would just stick to the more popular areas and just, as always, be ready for an adventure. So what do you think? Do you think that hiking the Great Wall of China deserves to be on your bucket list? If it does, definitely drop a comment below. Tell me which section of the wall that you would be most interested in hiking. Thank you so much for watching, and happy bucket listing.
Okay, well, from here, from the car park, car park here, 1 kilometer walking to the entrance 专渡口, and then 3 towers to the general tower. And keep walking 3-4 hours. Now we are at East 5 window tower. We made it.